So yeah, welcome to the first video that we're actually gonna try and do on the channel. So to start off with, I've got the rafter in front of me, so I've just got the measuring tape out, and we're just gonna mark out where all of the purlin plates are going.
Minutes later.
Yeah, the reason why it took so long is because the draftsman that drew up these rafters works from the top down, so that means he works from the right to the left, but the tape measures obviously go from the left to the right, so it's just a real pain in the ass. And he doesn't do running totals, so you have to get the calculator out and work out how far it is from each other and what the running total should be. So yeah, I've just got the magnet out now, and we're just tacking them on, get them in place before the foreman comes over and checks.
I'm legally blind, I can see, barely.
So everyone in the workshop, they seem to have named their welder. One of them's a little bit too low, so that's Droopy Lily. Mine's called Skull Crusher, just because I had a gate post that I was grinding away that was galvanised, and I was full PPE'd up, didn't notice anything, boom came across, I lifted up my head and smacked it, so it crushed my skull, just a little bit. Yep, we've just got a set square and a ball peen hammer, making sure all of the purlin plates are nice and square.
Nice.
So yeah, this is probably not the best way to turn it over once you've got everything on, but it's definitely one of the easiest ways. So we have got turning bars, but it's just a bit of a nightmare at times. So what I'm doing now is I'm just marking out where the other plates on the side need to go. So this will attach onto something else on the roof. So I've just got a straight edge, marking it all the way down so it's nice and easy, so I know where the plate's going to go so I can tack it on next. Right, next we're just going to be marking up the end plates, so these need to be quite accurate. That's why I'm just double checking everything, make sure everything is bob on as it should be, and then we'll pop those on the end, get them all tacked in place, and then we can turn the rafter over and get the haunches on. So this is the turning bar I was talking about earlier. That should be the proper way of doing it, just means it's a lot easier on your back. Yeah, I'm just grabbing the angle grinder now, just tidying up the edge of the rafter. There's quite a few sharp edges, so I thought I'd just run the grinder over it. Don't need to grind the paint off. If you know what you're doing when you're welding, it's not really a problem. But yeah, I was just tidying it up a little bit so that we can get the end plate on there nicely, and we can just zap it right there and right there. And two more on the bottom, and that will hold it secure enough so that we can get the haunch and get that in place and get that tacked, and I'm ready for the foreman to check that as well. So this is the haunch that I was talking about. It's basically just a big stiffener. Gives everything a lot of strength. So we need to make sure that there's solid welds all the way around that. Yeah, just clamped it onto the rafter for a second, just so I can grab the 9-inch grinder and just clean it up, because whoever cut it with the plasma cutter done it at a slight angle, so it was just wobbling around a little bit. So we just get that nice and smooth so that it will stand up on its own, and hopefully it won't rotate when we tack it into place. So yeah, sometimes when you tack it, it can cause the haunch just to move over as you've got all that heat, so it's drawn over. So that's going to cause it to turn that or twist that way a little bit. But it shouldn't be too much of a problem if we just tack it on the other side straight away. So yeah, the top of it's just twisted a little bit, so I'm just putting a couple of extra tacks and just force it to try and get it to hold in the right place. If not, it's not a big deal really. We've got some like homemade tools that we can just push it over once we've welded the bottom of the haunch. So yeah, I'm just grabbing my lid now just to make sure I get a solid tack and try and pull it over a little bit more. So what I like to do sometimes is just put a couple of extra tacks on the bottom, because it's quite notorious to popping up. So what we're doing there is just running a small little weld just across the bottom, just to hold it in place for when we weld each side of the haunch.
I am ready to get hurt again.
So I was quite lucky with that one. Getting sparks in the ear can be quite painful. It just tends to like bounce around and you hear it and it's just burning away. It's not very pleasant, but that was only a small one luckily, so we're all good on that one. So thanks for watching. It took about 36 minutes in total. I've condensed it into 8 minutes, so thank you for being around.